Leave it to me. I'm sorry, I got a phone call as soon as I started the live. So you're gonna have to catch the replay because you know how I do, y'all. I have my moments, I have my thoughts, and I come on and I chat regardless, and it's unplanned, and it's just what I want to do at that moment. I've learned that in life too. Hey, DT, what's up, brother? Hey, Tabby. Hey, Miss Robin. Not hiding that word. Well, make sure you whisper. You gotta whisper, child, so you don't get in trouble, okay? I'm so mad, y'all. My live from last week, they hit me with strikes for playing the music at the end, and that's when it got real good, y'all, because I had some messages for the ladies and I was playing a song. So in order to even receive the super chats, I had to mute the segment out. So if you listen to that live, probably the last 4 minutes is muted, and that's because that's why I hate politics. Sometimes you just be wanting to have fun without all the red tape and the approvals and the it's just annoying. Good morning, Miss Lisa. Hey, Miss Gertrude, how you doing, gorgeous? Hey, Miss Wilson, Miss Winfrey, I am that somebody. My spicy. I hope you're feeling better, love, and taking care of yourself and resting. Okay. Hey, Dreamy. Okay, Miss Jones, you'll catch the replay. So the title, I'm sure, is like, what? Stop playing with me. And sometimes we have these moments. Hey, Miss Whitaker. Hey, Miss Paris. We have these moments where you have to do just that. You have to tell people to stop playing with you. Depending on your temperament or who you are, some of us can allow things to build up until we respond, or some of us take notice to things and don't address it at that time. But it comes a point, and whether our careers, our professional lives, our personal lives, our marriages, our relationships, and where you have to tell somebody to stop playing with you. You know, what was once acceptable is no longer acceptable. It's no longer to be tolerated. So do you still I think so, Christy, because now when I once I muted the segment, now it showed me what I earned, and it was from I think I got two super chats during that. So I think they're gonna give it to me. But that's just the red tape you go through. It's so annoying, y'all. I promise you. So sometimes no sound. Can you guys hear me? Spicy says there's no sound. I missed you too, God winks. Good to see you, babes. And sometimes you have to say that, and depending on your personality, it can be really hard. And I struggled with this. And I think that's why it started to become so much of a surprise when I started setting those boundaries in my personal life outside of YouTube, when I started, hey, Granny. Okay, they can hear me. Good morning, Nisi Poo. It's the peaches for me. And it came as a shock when I started having these moments communicating with people and letting them know, no, this is no longer going to, good morning, Basha. Hey, baby. And it started to become an issue in my personal life when I started telling people to stop playing with me. And people aren't going to accept that. And I had a supervisor years ago when I used to work in corporate America where we had this, I would say, guess a standoff. Because too, when you're at work, you have that colleague or that coworker where you can sense in the tone of email and you're asking yourself, are they playing with me? You know what I'm saying? Are they testing me right now? And you ignore it until you finally, good morning, Miss Newton, until you finally have to tell somebody, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate it. And I used to struggle with that so much so where I would kind of like, I would get emotional, thinking like, wait a minute, I might hurt somebody's feelings all the while disregarding my own because what got me to that point is how I was being treated, you know? So if what we accept can grow in us and causes issues within, and we have to make a choice. Are you going to allow them to hurt you, or are you going to allow yourself to heal you? Because we do that. We're so giving, and not to say that men are not, but women, we're natural nurturers. We have these. It's just who we are. We have to. If somebody hungry, we gonna make a sandwich. It's just what we do. And when we do that so much for others, sometimes we can find ourselves being neglected or having to have these moments where you have to tell somebody, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? I am that somebody I can't stand a passive aggressive email. I can't stand it. Good morning, Miss Renee. And you have to be okay with that. And if that calls, hi, what's up, Bonnie? And you have to be okay with that when you have to tell somebody again. And that can even be with our mates. And those are really uncomfortable situations. You have to tell people how to treat you, how to love you in those moments. And I'm going to keep saying it again, hashtag stop playing with me. You know, I had in my relationship, in the beginning of my relationship, when we would have certain conversations, tone of voice is a trigger for me. And I had to have a conversation with my mate, and I had to tell them, when you speak in this tone, not only does it trigger my anxiety, it also prompts a reaction from me. So I'm asking you, can we work on that? And of course, it wasn't that beautiful, and I didn't say it that sweet. You know what I'm saying? But it took some trial and error for me to have to tell somebody, when you do this, it makes me do that. You know what I'm saying? And that comes a point of having those conversations where you have to have somebody say it with me, y'all. Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times it could be those that are quiet or a little bit more reserved or slow to anger, where you have these moments where you are going to be tested and people are going to assume that they can approach or handle you a certain way. And you have to have that moment where they're probably going to look at you as if you're insane, because now you have set those boundaries and put those boundaries in play, and you had to let somebody know, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, y'all. Hey, Cree. And that's okay, and that's a part of being big girls and big boys. We have to have those. Christy, I know, because that happens so much in the workplace. I really feel like we need to take from other countries where I think in China, y'all, don't quote me, keep me honest. I think they have a mandatory lunch, like a resting hour, where they have cubbies at works and where you have to literally rest during that time. I think we can take from some other countries, but that's a whole nother conversation. Hey, my chosen, because the average American, a lot of the stress comes from our work environments, those passive aggressive emails, and those people that you have to constantly remind, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to do my job, but I'm not here to be belittled. I'm not here to accept what you're giving me. I'm not here to be spoken to in that manner. And you have to have those moments, because if you don't set those boundaries, people are going to continue to do it. So for those that watch my video, I can't stand it. I promise you, that is the yin to my yang. Not even, I can't even say we opposite, Puck. And you'll pop off quicker than me, and it kind of balances one another out. I love it. I love you, babe. Um, Exactly, Miss Golden. And for those that, watched my video the other day, that the situation with the Detroit mauling hit home to me, because in that video I shared that my uncle's pit bull. Thank you so much, Miss Winfrey. I appreciate you. I truly do. At 18, my uncle's pit bull attacked me in my face, which prompted staples and stitches. It was a very like horrific time, because who's not vain about their face, right? And especially as a teenager. But I haven't spoken to that man in 20 years, y'all. And people call me petty as a result of it. Um, how can you harbor on things that long? And it's not a matter of harboring. I made that decision where I had to tell someone, stop playing with me, because I allowed you to continuously be around me. I allowed you to still bring this dog around on family occasions, until it got to a point where I said, I'm no longer tolerating you. So if that means I don't speak to you for 20 years, I'm okay with that. They can call me what they want, but that's a boundary that I set, because this is somebody in my life that I had to say, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm nice till I'm not. And that's how most of us are. We all have that side. We all have that switch. I think that's probably why that's one of my nicknames outside of Peanut. Child, I don't know why they call me Peanut, but I like Switch better. They've been calling me Switch for a minute, so I don't know if that's good or bad, or maybe it's the Gemini child. But I have these moments where you have to say, "Stop playing with me." Hey, Miss Patricia, how you doing? And like I said, it came with, you're gonna get judged. How can you not speak to somebody? How can you be mad at somebody? I'm not mad. I don't hate. I'm not mad. This is just somebody that I'm no longer allowing in my space. This is someone that I am now setting a boundary in place, and I'm no longer accepting you. Rest in peace to the dog, but that's another story. But This is somebody that I'm no longer going to allow to do certain things, you know? I love that, God winks. And see, hey, my Lux, I love you, baby. Um, I love that, and that's why I come on and I do these, and it's never long and it's never planned, you guys, because I just now I kind of got to just move with what's in my heart. And I've learned in life too that tomorrow's not promised. Anything can change at the blink of an eye, and I have to do better on this because I can't sit here and preach. I have so many areas that I need to improve on. Like for example, like when you think of somebody and you think I'll call them next week or something, I need to improve in that, in my personal life too. We're all works in progresses, and no one is above one another. At the end of the day, we all bleed. So even with that situation in that particular party, I had to deal with judgment. I've had someone not speaking to me for not speaking to somebody. And I'm saying, wow, this is what happens when you put boundaries. That part, Lux, you got to do what works best for you. This is what happens when you put boundaries in place. You're going to have some people that are going to disagree with you, and you're going to have some people that are going to try to name call. But no, I always tell people I don't act, I react. Now, granted, you might not like the reaction, but I'm going to refer you back to exhibit A being the action that prompted it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens in these instances. So don't ask me why I'm acting this way. You might want to go back to exhibit A and see what prompted someone to act that way. We always pay attention to the reaction, but a lot of times we forget the act. I've learned that too when I used to cover the saga. The next story I would love to cover with this is to see that man with his daughter. I would love that to be my next story because that would be a beautiful turning moment. But I said that to say people were so focused on reactions and forgot the act. Why are we forgetting the act of, hey, Miss Ray, let's not forget the act that's what's prompting all of these reactions. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Somebody understand what I'm saying? I can't be alone in this, you know? I don't think any of us are. And sometimes we just have to have those uncomfortable conversations. Sometimes we just have to put those boundaries in place. And it's going to come with some judgment. And it's going to come with some uncomfortable conversations and some misunderstandings. And that's okay because we have to protect us. We're all that we have. We have this body. We have this heart. Nobody else, regardless if you're married or not, it's our body, our mind, our soul that we have to protect and that we have to nourish and feed. Granted, we meet people along the way that are going to pour into us, and that's amazing. That's a blessing. But we came here alone and we're going to leave alone. So why is it that we find ourselves when we are oftentimes more cruel to ourselves than others, with putting others first and not putting those boundaries? It's us. We all can be, Miss Winfrey. Exactly, Miss Christie. I can't wait to see him with her. That would be amazing. I would love to be able to end with that story. Hey, Malibu. Thank you, Lux. Say it again. Too many people focus on the reactions and they ignore the act that prompted the reaction. They just want to, let's talk about the reaction. Let's talk about this. And the action always gets completely swept under the rug. Thanks, Miss Ray. And that's why I always like to look at situations from its entirety. I'm not that friend where you can just call and say, "Oh my goodness, girl, let me tell you why I'm not girl, let me tell you." So Susie Smith, I'm not She just going to call me and hang up on me. Okay, well what did you do? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk. If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. I don't know how to tiptoe and all that. No, let's talk about it because there was something that prompted the reaction. And a lot of times with storytelling, people are always going to omit the action. It happened to me. It happened to me in a situation where I didn't speak to a family member after that dog attack. Told everybody I'm not speaking to them and I'm a horrible person. But can you include the fact that your dog tried to take my face off? Please, can you please include that in your story? Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Miss Lisa. People are always gonna tell. They're gonna tell when they tell the story. They're gonna tell the reaction and always try to tiptoe tap. They're gonna try to tap dance and belly roll and tootsie roll and butterfly their way all out that action. This man told this story for years and totally omitted the fact that your dog tried to take my face off. And it's just an example. Hey, Miss Kimberly. Hey, Miss Doris. Lisa. Spicy, I promise you. I'm glad too. I am glad. I'm sure so many of us, used to be ticking time bombs and have that fuse where you just kind of just act. But with storytelling, I've learned. Thank you so much, Miss Hudson. That makes me shy. That's one of my I don't receive love or compliments well. I don't know why. I'm working on that. It just makes me feel weird. I don't know why. I don't. So I try not to even I'm shocked I even read that. I'm doing good. The fact that I read it out loud, but I thank you. I do. Good morning, Dee Dee. Good morning, Angel Pool. Right, Lux. Just paying attention to the reaction. Always get to the root of the problem and try to go to the core and have those moments. Okay, Basha? Thank you. I'm that somebody. If you're gonna tell it, tell it. Let's not I love you. Thank you. Thank you, my Bonnie. Get to the root, get to the core, and I think, and again, I can tie that into, granted, I was just talking more so of personal experiences, but we can tie that into the saga. It was so many times where they were focused on reactions in this story, and not the action. Oh my goodness, he posted this. Well, don't you, he's responding. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to the initial act. Hey, Dreamer Girl. Good morning, Brother Ham. How you doing? You got to go back to the act. Good morning, Miss Hawkins. I don't know why we do that. And just not even just, as a society. Yes, Miss Hawkins with the member for a month. I told you I can't wait my members. I got my equipment set up. We're gonna have some cam ups. I'm coming to you guys first with it because you've been rocking with me and supporting me. You didn't have to. It's only $1.99, but it's your money. So I respect that. Truly I do. It means the world to me. So I haven't forgot about you guys you know, with telling the stories with anything, whether it's the saga, whether it's life, even that one coworker, they're going to go to the boss and they're going to tell the story of how such and such did this or didn't do that, but they're totally going to omit the initial act. And I think we owe ourselves and everyone, to do that. If you're going to have these conversations, please talk about it in its entirety. Let's never tiptoe around the acts because that's when you find yourself in situations where you have to tell somebody, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? Especially at work and then family. That's one of the our relationships are hard, but I really think like our family relationships sometimes can be the hardest because there's so many like older wounds there, and everyone's families or things that you never like addressed years ago with that one aunt or that one auntie or uncle that tried to get some money from the life insurance policy. You know how we do, y'all. We get to cutting up, you know so we all have our ish when it comes to family matters, and I think those are the hardest when you have to put those boundaries down, and when you have to tell your family, stop playing with me. Those are some of the hardest conversations to have. Stop playing on my top in my down voice. I love her voice. I can listen to that woman talk all day. Or maybe I like southern accents too. I just find it so calming because they speak slower and you just have to like be, I don't know, it's just very calming. I love it. They have those. Yes, family is certainly at the top. I know y'all hear me. It's we those are the ones in my personal opinion, and for those that can understand and relate, thank you. But I think those are the ones that we struggle with the most to put those boundaries in place. My auntie Lisa, thank you, my love. With that one auntie or that one uncle or that one cousin or that one sister, we have situations where we haven't spoken to family members in I don't know how long because we probably had a moment in time in that relationship dynamic where you had to tell them, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? And our family can take it the hardest because they're saying, "How dare you? How dare you try to change? I've known you since you were," you know what I'm saying? So my personal opinion, I think it's harder to have those uncomfortable conversations with our family. And next, I would probably say our mates and then friends. That's just my personal opinion, you know? But it's needed, you guys. It's needed, and it's not easy, and it's awkward, and it's uncomfortable, and it's needed. And I'm saying this, I try to tie in my experiences. I guess this is me speaking through my trials and my error and my failures, you know, because I didn't used to do that, and I struggled with it. I struggled with speaking up for myself years ago, you know, but as you age and you have a mother and life experiences, you start to shrug your shit, you know? And you saying, wait a minute now, they must not know who I am. And we all have to have that moment, whether you have to look in the mirror or whether you have to write it down. I think everyone should have that moment where you look at yourself and you feel that I am that one. You know, that's how we should look at ourselves. And when you say that and when you have those moments, you should be able to tell people, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? Do you know who I am? That's how we should be approaching these situations when these people think that they can play with our emotion, our time, our money, our hearts. No, no, no. This is what we're not going to do. I'm not going to tolerate it. And I'm going to tell you that. And you have a choice. Either you're not going to do it, or this is the last time that you and I are going to be having a conversation, because I'm telling you now to stop playing with me. Now, if you continue, that choice is yours, regardless of who it is. So I guess my message today, you guys, is just don't be afraid to have those moments where you have to tell somebody to stop playing with you, starting with your own family, starting with that one supervisor that thinks that just because that you are an employee, that you can be talked to that like you are less than, like you are not accomplished. We don't have to accept certain behaviors regardless of who it is. We don't even have to accept, and our parents too sometimes. We have to have these conversations with our parents, and those can get extremely uncomfortable. You know, I lost my mom early on, so I didn't have that, but I urge anyone, if you do still have that, have those conversations, because I really think that it's the hardest when it comes to our family and those that we're connected with. Good morning, Jazzy. Yes, Miss Ray, I agree. I had a member about my deceased children. To this day, I don't spoke. Oh, Miss, see, and that's what I'm talking about. You had to stop. Don't deal with them. Exactly, Lux. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? You sneaking at work? Hit that like button, y'all. I be forgetting to do the basics. Hi, Miss J. Hi, Miss Lynette. Period, Miss Lisa. So going through this now. You know what? And to you, my love, who are going through this, I hope that I'm just a person, you know. You don't have to listen to me at all. I value those who do. I'm just a woman that's speaking, and a woman that went through some things, you know. So maybe just with hearing this, it's your reminder that you're gonna have to tell somebody, um, pretty jewel, stop playing with you, and remind them exactly who you are. You know what I'm saying? And that's uncomfortable, but it's needed. It's needed, regardless of who it is. You know. So I think that's my message, you guys. I told you I have these moments and need to know where it's going and don't know, and you just got to get it out. But I really think that that's my message to somebody somewhere, because I was once that girl that didn't do it years ago. I was once that girl that would just allow certain things. That was a long time ago. um, but I still, in certain instances, I would I I choose peace. That's still my first choice, you know, or choose silence before conflict. But I still have those moments where you have to put on your big girl panties and your big boy boxers and remind people, stop playing with you. And that's it. That's all. And never be afraid to say that. Never be afraid to have those conversations. Never be afraid to stand up for yourself. Never be afraid to tell someone, you made me feel like when you X, Y, and Z. When you do this, I feel like. We have to, because I missed it all. Yes, catch the replay. I needed this message, and that means it. If least it's just one, at least it, at least if it's just one, I'll take it. And I love that, you know. Stop pointing with think I'm so late. Much love, Chatty. I know you spoke wisdom and peace, chat. I'm definitely watching the replay. My brother, thank you. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Peace, Kev. And we have to, you guys. We have to. I hope every last one of you today or this week or this month or even as we, because keep in mind we started 2024. Have those moments where you have to tell yourself, do you know who the fuck I am? Remind yourself of that. I'm speaking to you. I love it. Remind yourself of that and have those conversations and never be afraid to have those moments. I felt like this when you did this. When you do this, I feel like this. We have to, you guys. It really is. It can damage our soul and our spirit. And I'm telling you this from experience. I was that girl at 25, 25, 26, 27, and I was so afraid to speak up. So afraid to tell people, "Wait, that hurt my feelings." Because it made me feel like, "Wait, this makes me weak, right?" No, it's actually the opposite. Tears are not weakness. I hate that I really hate that misconception, but that's another conversation and to get me off topic. But that pisses me off because it takes a very, very strong person to release that emotion. But I had those moments where I felt weak to tell somebody that hurt my feelings. And that's crazy, but I would rather be the one to walk around with the hurt and pain as opposed to putting that right back on the party that caused it. Why do I just have to feel this? No. Hey, Mr. Smith, on January 13th, 1997, I'm going to take it back, baby. We're going to have that conversation because I'm no longer going to harbor and let people kind of just use you as their dumping grounds. Why do we do that? Even with phone calls. I even had to do that with family and friends, and that's another uncomfortable conversation. Hello, what's up? Oh my God, I'm so irritated. I'm about to. Hey, wait a minute. Now, I'm not saying that's a wrong thing because we have to be there for somebody. I'm telling you what I do in my personal life. And this is 100% honest. If I'm down and I have my tribe when I'm down, or if I'm going through something, I have two people that I reach out to in my family. And before I start, I ask them, "Are you in a space to receive this? Because it's not positive right now." That's me. Now, I'm not saying every instance we're going to be able to do that or every situation is going to grant time to say that, but that's just something that I started doing to people that I care about because I was conscious of, well, damn, I'm probably hurting them and adding stress on them when I'm crying and carrying on and unloading all of my pain on them. So this is literally, I'm not lying. It's just something that I do in my personal life. If I love and I have those two people before I start, I ask them if they're in a space to receive it and they let me know, hey, not right now, give me an hour, because I don't know what they're going through. And they can be going through something, and that works for me and that works for us and that works for my connection with them when we all have our moments and need to have those uncomfortable conversations to talk to one another about things that are going on that might affect us, and it works really, really well, and I feel better. I don't feel like I'm just kind of ruining someone I love day. I don't know, it's just something to something to say again because you never know. The crazy thing, I reached out to this family. She was checked, and I still refused to rock with her. And that's okay, Auntie. I promise you, it is. I'm that family member that always have to save everyone. They still didn't appreciate it. How to pull. See what I'm talking about? Now they're mad, and that's what happens. Good morning, C Love. That's what happens. Hey, Miss Dimples. That's what happens when we have those moments where we have to, whether it's chin check or whatever, when we have to have those moments, I'm gonna keep saying it, y'all, till y'all get it in and get it in you. Stop playing with me. You know what I mean? And it's okay, you guys. It's okay. It's okay to stand up for yourself. It's okay to speak up for yourself. It's okay to be the oddball. It's okay to be the awkward girl. It's okay. Going to YT, I lost you. It is 100% okay, regardless. I always say who's meant to go where you're going is gonna go regardless, you know? Who's meant to go where you're going is gonna go regardless. And those who ain't. It's this is just that simple. We don't have to try to figure it out or nothing. Who's meant to go where you're going is going regardless. And that's it. That's all on that, you know? That's it. That's all. So I feel good, you guys. Look at me. I done dumped and unloaded, and I hope it wasn't all, it wasn't bad, but this was actually me unloading, to you guys. So I hope somebody somewhere what you needed to receive, you received. I feel like the message that I wanted to get out and was heavy on me was put out, And I'll leave you with that, you guys. Never be afraid to have those moments. Stop playing with me. And have that moment where you got to look at yourself and say, "Do you know who the hell I am?" Remind yourself of that. Remind yourself of that. We are worthy. We really are. Protect your peace, protect your space, set those boundaries with whomever, whether it's mother, father, brother, sister, auntie, cousin. You deserve that. You know, it's time. I think it's time. You know what I'm saying? So, my chatters, thank you for those that didn't hit the like button. Look at me, I'm gonna get better. Hold up, let me sound like a professional. Hey, you guys, make sure to hit the like button or not. If you don't want to, that's fine too, child. I promise you, I don't pay stuff, never mind. If you like it, love it. If not, that's fine too. Have a sandwich and I hope it's a good one. Try turkey pastrami. It's amazing. So I love you guys. I'll I'll pop on sporadically as I'm led and guided, and I hope who needed to receive this message did, because I was once that person that needed to receive that message until I had to tell somebody and some people, and will to this day. Stop playing with me. I love y'all. Later. Thanks so much for the support. I appreciate you. Y'all have an amazing day. Stay true to you.